Praise the Lord, everybody, and good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr., your 2024 certified grief coach, and I'm so grateful and thankful to have this time and this opportunity to lead you in another grief devotion. This is the daily grief devotional that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you would express it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because mourning, that's right, it's a good thing. I thank y'all for joining us on today as we did prepare to dive into another grief devotion. Hope you had a terrific Thursday. I hope you have a phenomenal Friday. And I'm excited to lay the foundation for this day as we did prepare to dive into our grief devotion. Where is January 1st devotion? Oh, that's somebody else. Happy birthday to Stacia Holloway if she's on here. Stacia has a birthday today, and so we want to send her some birthday shouts out on today. Shout out to you. Happy birthday to you as you navigate through and embrace and receive and enjoy another birthday. And it's on Friday too, so I know you should be turning up tonight in a very fun and responsible way. And so happy birthday to Stacia. Y'all show her some love. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's prepare to dive into our devotion. Today's grief quote says, "In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone." In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like stone. We're going to talk about the winter of our grief. What better time to talk about the winter of our grief than in the winter, right? Let's talk about it, y'all. The author says, where I live in Colorado, winter can be brutal. January is dark and can be bitter cold. For a lot of people, I know definitely Colorado, definitely here in the Midwest, right? I don't know where you're from and how winter is. Felicia Henderson's on here. She's from Arizona. Miss Donna's from Arizona. Lalicia, she's from Dallas. I don't know what winters look like in Arizona and Dallas and Florida. I don't know what winter looks like in all of those warm places, but here in the Midwest and Colorado and other places up north, winter can be brutal. The cold, the snow, the darkness, all of those things, y'all, it's not fun at all, right? He said January is dark and can be bitter cold. And a lot of times that's just like our grief. Winter kind of mirrors our grief. If you look at grief in the form of, say, seasons, right? You got the winter of your grief. You got the fall. You got the fall of your grief, right? You got the winter of your grief. You got the summer of your grief. It's grief, but it's summery. The sun is shining. Things are, it's like, okay, a little energy, a little positivity. You got the spring of your grief where things are kind of coming alive. It's not the winter. It's not where it's cold, dark, and depressing. There's a little hope. Things are springing up, right? If you look at grief, let me ask you this before I go further. If you look at grief in terms of seasons, what would you say what season is your grief in now? Right? I want y'all to post it in the chat. If you look at grief in terms of seasons, what season is your grief in now? Would you say is fall? Would you say is winter? Would you say is summer? Would you say it's spring? What season is your grief in now? Go ahead and post it. Stacia getting all the birthday love. Get it. Get it, 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 boom, 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 get it, get it, boom, 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 get it, get it. What season? What season? Felicia said, it gets cold here. It's 44, it's 32 at night and all that, but we don't get snow. I got you. So it does get cold, but you don't get no snow. Lucky for y'all. Nikisha said it is the fall. She's in the fall. Hey, Paige Hill, she says the winter. her grief is in the winter season. Stephanie said winter. Gisette said winter. Miss Linda Hall said fall. Yup, fall, winter. Miss Donna said winter. Miss Marla said winter. Miss Lalicia said fall. Sean Spell said fall. It's interesting. So you look at that, you look at where, the fall, the winter, spring. Nobody says spring or summer, right? And so nobody says spring or summer. The seasons where things are kind of blooming, blossoming, kind of springing to life, getting a little hope, right? Artie Thompson said, my mother visited me during a dream this week. She always comes to reassure me everything is going good. That is awesome. Somebody said winter. Somebody said winter, holiday season, winter. Got you. Hey, Kel Walker Smith. Yeah, and so it's interesting. Grief is not linear, but it goes through seasons. Right, it goes through, and it's not like, it doesn't follow that pattern, right? It doesn't like, fall, now I'm in winter, now I'm in, sometimes it's not linear. It can be all over the place. There's sometimes you're more hopeful than others. There's sometimes where things are just more alive than others. There's sometimes where it's dark and it's cold and it's depressing and it's like, I don't like this, right? And there's sometimes where things are alive and it's like, yo, man, I feel good and I'm hopeful and I'm really on the other side, right? And so when you look at it in terms of that, our grief can have seasons, right? And so he says, the wind at my home in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains slices like a knife. Snow and ice cover the iron ground, making driving and even walking outside treacherous. That's definitely winter. Midwinter is a time to withdraw and to grieve. Midwinter is a time to withdraw and to grieve. I think it's so good and it's so very important for us to even understand that this is the time to withdraw and to grieve. It's as if the outside is mirroring what we're feeling on the inside. And what better time, what better opportunity do we have, even in the season that we're in, right, to withdraw and to even grieve what we're feeling. It is a time to huddle indoors, to sit by the fire and contemplate the meaning of life and death. It is also a time for hot chocolate and meaningful conversations with people we care about. We can heed grief's call for stillness and also share this time of reflection for others. It is a wonderful time, huddle indoors, for us to heed grief's call for stillness, but still have meaningful conversations with others. You got to remember, grief is what you feel. Mourning is what you reveal. You got to move from grief to mourning, right? Because you just don't want to feel without revealing. Right. You want to put yourself in a position to understand that mourning requires motion, that there has to be action. And when you start to look at your life and look at where you are, right, that you want to reveal and not just feel. So many of us, we feel, but we do not reveal. We keep it bottled up. And that's why many of you may be struggling. Right? Many of you may be struggling because you are suppressing and you're not addressing. You're suppressing and you're not expressing the winter of your grief. This winter is a wonderful opportunity for you to do that. And y'all, again, I love to say it can be done in a number of different ways. I'm talking about whether it's a therapist, a counselor, a coach, whether it's a pastor, whether it's a grief group, whether you're just huddling by the fire and you're just talking to a girlfriend, you're talking to your home girl, you're talking to your homeboy, you're talking to a family member, you're talking to, it's just talk, just get it out. That's the thing. Just get it out. Whether you're journaling, get it out, right? Get it out. A lot of people, think about this, a lot of people, rappers and singers, a lot of songs and music, you know what it is? It's their expression of grief. They are revealing how they feel. There's nothing but grief expressed. Songs, rapper, they let their pen bleed. They are expressing what they feel. They're getting it out, right, y'all? And that's why you got to understand the power and the importance of expressing and not suppressing. You just got to get it out. And whether it's a therapist or counselor or coach, those are people that can kind of help you put some pieces of the puzzle together. They can give you a little clarity, a little insight. They can listen and they can do all that. But the main thing is just to get it out. I tell you all the time, my first pulpit was not a pulpit. It was a barber chair. I'm a licensed barber and I cut hair, and people would talk to me about everything. Looking back, didn't understand it then, but looking back, you know what that is? It's expressing and not suppressing. They felt comfortable enough to begin to share their problems, their challenges and issues, and I was able to give them a little wisdom to help them out, right? But that was their opportunity to express what they're going through, what they feel, that they were able to reveal. And that's half the battle. You got to put yourself in safe places and safe spaces where you can express and articulate what you are feeling on the inside. We can heed grief's call for stillness and also share this time of reflection with others. Midwinter could be a time to take a break. More and more as I get older, I like to carve out time in January for a vacation somewhere warm. Y'all, the older I get, that's what I'm talking about. This is a good time to take a break. Carve out an opportunity to go somewhere warm. How wonderful would that be, right? We got Martin Luther King Day coming up. You know, that's a 3-day weekend for a lot of people. What could you do? How could you be strategically intentional about taking a break or doing something, perhaps that weekend or just sometime in the month of January if you have the opportunity, right? Sometimes even if it's for a day, we got to learn the power and the importance of even if it's for a day, right? Taking the time to show up for yourself, taking the time to make sure that you are tending to your own mental and emotional grief needs, taking the time to make sure that you are mourning in a meaningful manner, right? I love that. The older he gets, he's like, I'm going somewhere warm in January. I think that's phenomenal. But even when I can't travel, I can still visit a friend's house. I can go to my favorite restaurant. I can spend time just being. Do y'all know how powerful that is? Even if you can't travel, if you can't go to a beach somewhere, you can go to a friend's house, you can go to a restaurant. You can spend time just simply being, right? Understand how important this is, y'all. My grief, we grieve and withdraw. We take breaks for warmth and relief. This is the January of our grief. We grieve and withdraw. We take breaks for warmth and relief. This is the January of our grief. Here's the final thought. Oh, the bleakest days, I will remember that withdrawing is necessary, that talking to others helps, and that I need breaks now and then. Here it is. On the bleakest of days, remember withdrawing is necessary. Talking to others helps, and you need breaks now and then. Withdrawing is necessary. One thing that I love and I know how to do is to withdraw. You got to withdraw. Withdrawing is necessary. Talking to others helps, and you need breaks every now and then. As you continue to grieve, as you continue to go through this season of grief, remember those 3 things, y'all. Withdrawing is necessary. Talking to other people is going to help you, right? And you got to know and understand that you need breaks now and then. Questions or comments if you got them. One time for the one time. Question and comments if you got them. Today is day 5. We're talking about the winter of our grief. And in the winter of our grief, withdrawing is necessary. Talking to other people helps. And we need breaks every now and then. Make sure you are being good to yourself. Give yourself grace as you navigate through this season of grief. Any questions or comments? If you got them, I'll take them. 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 Y'all, we show up here every single day at 8 a.m. to lead you through a grief devotion. I'm just going to hold you about 10, 15 minutes. That's it. If you are grieving, if you are mourning, just show up. Show up. If you can't show up right at 8, catch the replay. But this is strategically designed for you to help you to navigate through your season of grief. It's going to give you some nuggets. It's going to give you some nudges. It's going to give you some practical tools, tips, techniques, and takeaways that'll help you out. Everybody can't afford therapy. This is free coaching. Ain't nobody charging you for none of it. Yeah, I'm a certified grief coach. You better ask somebody. I got a certification that I paid for. I got the education and the wisdom and the knowledge and the know-how and the information so that I can bring it back to you and give it to you for free. Everybody in my cohort, they're starting their own grief coaching services where they charge their clients, and I ain't mad at them. I'm trying to tell y'all now, you're getting this game for free, right? Sometimes people don't value what's not charged. Maybe I should add a look. Maybe I should make this a subscription membership. You got to pay to come in here and get this. Maybe people would value it more then, right? You got to attach a dollar amount to it sometimes for people to appreciate it. Otherwise, they think it's watered down and it's not useful. I'm trying to tell y'all, there's a story. This reminds me of a story. There's a story. It was a true story too. And I forgot his name, but it was a violinist, a very, very, very famous violinist who played, it was Carnegie Hall or Madison Square Garden, one of them places where people were paying thousands and thousands of dollars of tickets and hundreds of dollars. And the place was packed and sold out. And I think maybe he did 2 shows, right? And so you had people that paid all of this money to come and see this famous violinist play. And it said and so it was packed. The place was packed. It was sold out. And maybe he did 2 shows sold out. Everybody paying all of this money to come see this man. And the very next day, right, he goes into the New York subway. Same man, same violin. He's playing his violin, right? And you got people that's walking by, paying him no attention whatsoever. And I always thought that story was intriguing and phenomenal because in one situation, you got people who understand the value of what he's doing to the point to where they're willing to pay thousands of dollars just to hear him play. And on the other hand, because he's in a subway and he's playing, perhaps people undervalue his ability, thinking that he's just somebody looking for a handout and nobody pays him any attention and everybody just walks by, not understanding the value of what's at their fingertips, right? And I say that because once again, I know this is the subway, right? Y'all coming here, this is the subway. And so some of y'all might be like, man, it's a subway. He do a little devotion, man. Ain't nobody, but y'all, I'm trying to tell you, the same thing you get now is the same thing other people pay me to come say on different platforms and in different places, right? The same thing. People invite me to come and speak about grief and we'll pay you this amount of money. Y'all getting the same thing. So don't undervalue it, right? Last year we did 365 or 364 days. Last year, that's 364 lessons, 364 sessions, 364 grief opportunities, right? Information, tools, tips, techniques, takeaways for you to be able to navigate through this thing called grief, right? 364, because I was sick one day, had to go to the hospital. 364. So all I'm saying is do not undervalue. Do not undervalue what you get. Just show up. Y'all, 8 o'clock, show up. If you can't show up at 8, just come back and get the replay. But I promise you, if you're grieving, if you're mourning, it is going to add value to your life. And so that's it. I'm done. I appreciate y'all. What are your top techniques used to navigate grief? Come on, Nikisha. That's what I'm talking about. She said, no, it's very valuable. I've been to a therapist for grief, and this is way better. This is why I'm here faithfully. I appreciate your dedication. Y'all ain't got to take my word for it. Take Nikisha's word for it, right? The proof is in the pudding. It's not me. Take her word for it. If y'all won't believe me, believe her. Hey, Marla Talley, I understand the value and God compelled me to sow into your ministry and I'm elated to do it. Encourage others. God will bless you. Thank you, Marla Talley. And I promise you, and not even for that, like I promise y'all, I'm not asking for nothing. And I appreciate you, Marla Talley. I know you do. And that's absolutely awesome. But that's absolutely awesome. I appreciate it. But yeah, y'all, it's for y'all, right? It's for y'all. And so just mindful. Audrey Thompson says, what are your top techniques you use to navigate grief? Great question. And there is so much. If I got to break it down, I always break it down to 3 words, which is feel, reveal, and heal, right? Feel, reveal, heal. I say it every single day when I come on. Grief is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because mourning is a good thing. If I could only tell you one thing to do, you're always gonna feel. You got to reveal, right? You're going to feeling is grief, because you feel something about the loss, the change, the transition that you've been through. You feel. The problem is people don't reveal. They just suppress it. You don't express how you're feeling. And this has to be an everyday thing, right? Every day you're feeling something. You got to reveal. That's the only way you can heal. I don't want you to be at a place. So many people are stuck. They've stalled. They are stagnant, and they've stopped, right? Because they don't reveal. They don't have safe places and safe spaces where they can articulate their feelings, where they can process how they feel. They have questions, right? They don't reveal. And so they never heal. They never progress, right? They never get there. And the reality, you just got to let it out. You got to get into a place where you let it out, right? And it's not just a one-time thing, it's a continual thing, because you're trying to navigate through this process, right? And so that would be my top advice. You got to feel, you got to reveal in order to heal. It's very valuable. I appreciate it. It's helpful. I appreciate you. Thank you. This is both good. I appreciate both devotions. Thank y'all very much. This is my way of adding value to you, adding value to the community, adding value to your life. I promise you, I don't want anything from you. I'm just trying to add value to you, period. There's no gimmicks. There's no tricks. There's none of that, right? I want to add value to you. I want your life to be enriched. I want your life to be better. I want you to be the best version of yourself. And so it's providing a space for the Holy Spirit to be able to minister in a powerful way to help you to become the best version of yourself. So that's what we all about over here, y'all. And so I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hang in there. Keep rocking with me. 8:00 every single day. We're doing more in 2024. You hear me? We are doing more in 2024. And so we'll roll these things out. And for some of y'all, I'm gonna be calling on y'all, pulling on y'all to be a part of a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing. And so it's going to be wonderful. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope you have a phenomenal Friday. I've held y'all too long. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow.